What's good, y'all? This your boy, Mr. Pound for Pound himself, and I'm definitely back in the house. You know when I'm in the house, it's definitely going down. I'm talking about the fight that's about to take place September 6th, 2014, between Andre Berto and Steve Upsher Chambers. What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to slowly but surely go ahead and give you my prediction for the fight, the pre-fight. Don't really think I'm going to do a post-fight on this one, because I think I already know what's going to go down. Anyway, your boy Andre Berto, still at the welterweight division. We don't really know what's going to happen out of Andre Berto. I mean, to be honest with you, his record is 28 wins right now, 3 losses, no draws, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. If you've seen his last 2 fights, he didn't do too great. I mean, he lost by knockout, TKO in 12 to Jesus Soto Carras. And then before that, he lost unanimous decision, beat down against, Robert Guerrero. Prior to that, he had a fight against, Jan Zavik where he won, but before that, he lost to Victor Ortiz in what was a good brawl. And mind you, all these losses that he's had, these last 3 losses in the last 4 fights that I mentioned, 2 were by unanimous decision, but those 2 were beatdowns to Guerrero and Victor Ortiz. They were brawls, they were wars. And then one was another type of a brutal fight, beatdown type of fight, and where he was stopped. So, in all 3 fights, he was knocked down. Berto's taking a lot of damage, you know what I'm saying? This guy, Steve Upsher Chambers, his record is 24 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. I really tried to Google this dude and haven't found much. I even went on YouTube and haven't found much. And from what I did find on YouTube, I saw him fight a guy named Bayan Jargal. Not very impressive, you know what I'm saying? This is like, it was stuff that you would see at an average show, locally. It wasn't no, spectacular, elite, or even great level type of fighter. So I really think they're putting Steve Upsher Chambers in there pretty much in the gauntlet for Andre Berto to kind of come back and look good. Steve Upsher Chambers himself has lost his last 2 bouts. He lost one to Luis Collazo by unanimous decision, and then he lost by TKO in 4 to Eddie Gomez. So he's also coming off 2 losses in his last 2 bouts, as well as Andre Berto coming off 2 losses. So we'll see. This fight's scheduled to be at the US Bank Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio. Scheduled for a 10-round bout, non-title bout. So we'll see what Andre Berto has. I am going to predict Andre Berto to win this fight. I think from what I saw, like I said, this guy Chambers looks like he's there to be beaten. I expect Andre to go in there and do his Andre Berto thing. The only downside for him is that Chambers is bigger. He's 5'11" versus Berto, who's only 5'6", and Chambers does have a 73-inch reach advantage versus Berto's 68.5-inch reach advantage. So we'll see what happens, because Berto is like, he's a weird dude, man, as far as his performances from my point of view. He can be like a Zab Judah on some nights, and he can be Andre Berto on some nights. And when I mean by Zab Judah, I mean like the bad Zab, you know what I mean? Like the Zab on the nights where it's like, come on, Zab, you're going to look spectacular. And then it gets to the 4th round and you're like, it's going to fall apart. That's what I meant when I referenced Zab Judah. But Berto just seems to me now as like a 4-round fighter. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the tools. He doesn't have many tools, really. To be honest with you, he explodes and throws combos, and that's pretty much it. He tries to do some Mayweather defense, and he can't do it. He's just a little too short, a little too big, a little too bulky. He has the body of an athlete, and that's cool. He's like one of those short, little stocky dudes you see in school that are strong, and they're built like a little fire plug, but at the end of the day, they have their chinks in their armor. Berto definitely has some chinks, one of that being his chin, the other of that being just his overall skills. I don't think, for as talented as Berto is, speed-wise, punching-wise, I don't think he's as skillful as he should be, especially with his amateur pedigree and pro fights. I just never saw Berto that good. That's why I chose Victor Ortiz to beat him, which he did. But, I don't know. I want to see something special out of Andre Berto. I just don't think it's going to happen. To me, if you want to be blunt, he seems like a bigger, dumber Bradley and a smaller, shorter, less talented Shane Mosley. That's just kind of how I perceive Berto. It's just like he's just always been in the middle for me. You know what I mean? Never really hated him, never really liked him. He's just kind of he's okay. And now he's trying to pick up the pieces. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and predict Andre Berto for the victory here against Steve Upsher Chambers based on what I know about Chambers and was able to find and saw on YouTube. I think Andre Berto runs this guy over. I think it'll be a stoppage. If it is, great. Probably not going to do a post-fight on this one, unless it's like a brutal knockout and I just have to talk about it. But anyways, go ahead and get at me, guys. Tell me how you think. Tell me what you feel. Have a blessed day, and y'all have a good one. This is your boy, Mr. Pound for Pound. I'm out of here. Peace.